In 1954, the founder of Auroville, Mira Alfassa, spelled out an alternative formula for a new way to live and to be. She described a new society, balanced, harmonious, and dynamic. At the time, she saw that the world was not ready to realize such an ideal, and therefore called it a dream. The fact that Auroville steadily grows, and its residents continue to carry this same ideal and vision of the dream in their hearts and minds, gives hope. The challenges of these ideas are enormous and daring, but what are these ideas? And is the world ready, even today? There should be somewhere on earth, a place which no nation could claim as its own, where all human beings of goodwill, who have a sincere aspiration, could live freely as citizens of the world, and obey one single authority, that of the supreme truth. A place of peace, concord, and harmony, where all the fighting instincts of man would be used exclusively to conquer the causes of his sufferings and miseries, to surmount his weaknesses and ignorance, to triumph over his limitations and incapacities. A place where the needs of the spirit and the concern for progress would take precedence over the satisfaction of desires and passions, and the search for pleasure and material enjoyment. In this place, children would be able to grow and develop integrally, without losing contact with their souls. Education would be given not for passing examinations or obtaining certificates and posts, but to enrich existing faculties and bring forth new ones. In this place, titles and positions would be replaced by opportunities to serve and organize. A place where the bodily needs of each individual would be equally provided for, and intellectual, moral, and spiritual superiority would be expressed in the general organization, not by an increase in the pleasures and powers of life, but by increased duties and responsibilities. Beauty in all its artistic forms, painting, sculpture, music, literature, would each be equally accessible to all. The ability to share in the joy it brings would be limited only by the capacities of each individual, and not by social or financial position. For in this ideal place, money would no longer be the sovereign lord. Individual worth would have a far greater importance than that of material wealth and social standing. There, work would not be a way to earn one's living, but a way to express oneself, and to develop one's capacities and possibilities, while being of service to the community as a whole, which, for its own part, would provide for each individual's subsistence and sphere of action. In short, it would be a place where human relationships, which are normally based almost exclusively on competition and strife, would be replaced by relationships of emulation in doing well, of collaboration, and real brotherhood. The earth is certainly not ready to realize such an ideal, for mankind does not yet possess the necessary knowledge to understand and accept it, nor the indispensable conscious force to execute it. That is why I call it a dream. Yet, this dream is on the way of becoming a reality. That is exactly what we are doing, on a small scale, in proportion to our modest means. The achievement is indeed far from being perfect. It is progressive, little by little. As we advance towards our goal, which we hope, one day, we shall be able to hold before the world as a practical and effective means of coming out of the present chaos, in order to be born into a more true, more harmonious new life. This was the dream of the founder of Auroville. It is as essential as the charter, and part of its foundation. For more simplified information about Auroville, you can follow the links in the description below. Thank you so much for stopping by, and please remember